Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will study 6 Arabic letters. Let's read them together first. Sa. The name is Sad. The sound is Sa. Tad, Da, Ta, Ta, Dha, Th, Dal, D, Dhal, Th. Now let's talk about the letter Ta, Ta. And we can see that from the sound of it, you can notice a relationship between the ta and the ta and the da. You can feel the tip of the tongue behind the upper incisors. But to say the ta, the back or the base of the tongue is elevated, causing a feeling of the back of the oral cavity feeling like it's closed a bit. Plus, the epiglottis is pushed back a little, as you can see in the picture right here, and you can see the base of the tongue elevated right here. But at the tip is just behind the incisors, the upper incisors. For ta and dal, it depends on the sound you produce from the front teeth, the upper and lower incisors. Try it. T. You can feel the tongue just behind the incisors. T. If you want to say d, d, d is dal, t, t is ta. Say ta, ta. You can feel the tongue, the back of the tongue elevated. Now the next group, we're going to talk about the dha, and its relation to the dhal right here, dhal and tha. So you can see in the front that the tip of the tongue has the same position. Say tha. You can feel that the tongue is protruded a bit between the upper and lower incisors. Tha and the, tha, tha, the. This is dha. Now the difference between the dha and the other two is also in the back of the tongue right here. You see here, there is no elevation in the and tha. While there is an elevation right here, the back or the base of the tongue, when you say dha, you can feel like the very back of the oral cavity, upper throat. There's a closing feeling by the tongue. Now, sad, sa. This is sa right here. S like an S, s, and z like a Z. So what is the difference? Also, you can see that the tip of the tongue moves a bit to the lower incisors. S, s. You can feel the tongue just behind the lower incisors, same as saying z, z. The tongue is moved downwards. But the difference between those two and the sad, sa, is also that the base of the tongue right here is elevated, giving that feeling of closure in the back of your oral cavity or upper throat. Now, dad, da, da. Now you can see the tip of the tongue is behind the upper incisors, but in this case, when you say da, there is a light pressure. There is a light pressure at the behind the upper incisors, just at the hard palate. So the pressure there is light, but when you want to say ta, ta, there is more pressure. Try it again. Da, it's light. Ta, there is more pressure over there. Now, how do we write the letters? So that's easy. So when you want to write the sad, sa, you just add this connection. This is in the middle of the word. You add the connection behind. You cut off this tail. So you're keeping this part right here. It's right here, okay? And you're keeping this part and you're continuing with the connection right here. When it's at the end of the word, you add the connection right here. Good. And the same goes with the dod, da. As you can see, you just cut this part and you keeping everything else. And in the middle of the word, you add this connection. Then you write the dot, and then like this. Okay, I hope that's clear. And the same at the end of the word, you just add the connection and everything remains the same. For the ta, also, you just in the middle of the word, ta, and at the end, like this. So you, in the middle of the word here, just connect it with whatever letter you can add here. The same thing is the. There's a connection before. You do the and you connect it with whatever letter here. At the end of the word, the connection and then the. Now, we've talked before in one of the lessons about the selfish family of letters. And these letters are the ones that connect, they take and do not give. So they connect to the letter before and do not connect with the letter afterwards. And these are the selfish family. Alif, sorry. So it's the Alif, Hamza, Dal, Thal, Ra, Zay, and Wow. I hope you find this lesson useful. So let's take an example of the Ra. So how to connect it in the middle of the word, for example. You just add a connection like this and you do the Ra. Okay? As you can see, there is no connection with the letter afterwards. Same thing as Zay, like this. And there is no connection with the letter afterwards. If you find this content useful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.